Greetings, folks. This is Mason Weaver. Uh, this is the the 7th of January 2020 already. And I want to talk about this phenomena. President Trump blew up this terrorist, and the whole world's going crazy. You have people talking about a 1,000,000-man army to fight this war coming up. They're going to return to the draft to fight this war coming up. Stock market's going to drop because of this war that's coming up. Folks, first, the Democrats are always fearful. They want to spread terror and panic. They do not ever want to have good news. So it's going to be a major step backwards, anything America does, especially Trump, because they're the party of lies and deceit. And they want us to be angry and afraid because they operate really good in an atmosphere of panic. But the idea that it's going to take 1,000,000 men to go and fight anybody in the Middle East. As a matter of fact, it won't take 1,000,000 men to fight everybody in the Middle East. So the notion that we're going to have to draft again, bring in the draft. By the way, you snowflakes, you notice I'm talking about draft? You now realize that at 18, every male has to register for the draft, but not females. Think you're equal? Why is it fair that women get out of being called up to war? War to a female is voluntary. You can decide to go to the military. Men have to sign up. Even today, even though there's no war, you got to sign up. I find it fascinating that all you folks looking for equality and think women are equal to men in combat don't seem to have a problem with men having to register. But that's another question, another comment. Solomar, what's this guy's name that got blown up? I call him Pinky Finger. I was left now as his ring finger. So he goes, and now they have all this stuff about America, and they're going to target Trump's houses. They're sending pictures of the houses and property that Trump owns. They got an $18 million bounty. Is that Obama's money that he sent them a few years ago? No, probably not. I want to talk to you about liberals, about Democrats. The reason we get so frustrated with them, even when they do foolish things, we seem to think, well, all we got to do is point out to them how stupid their ideas are. I want you to know, folks, they're not trying to convince you. They're not trying to persuade you. Democrats are doing it for two different reasons. First, they want to change or control the social thought of people, not political thought. They want to control how you think about life in general. They want you to visualize world peace and think there's going to be no more polar bears in the future, and that we all want diversity. Secondly, they want to conduct history. They want to talk about history. 100 years from now, they want it to be discussed, not that Donald Trump was the greatest president in our nation's history. They want to discuss that Donald Trump was impeached, that Donald Trump conspired with foreign nations, that they had the goods on him with Russia but couldn't quite prove it. They are going to write the history. Who writes it now? New York Times? The school book writers? The publishers of school books? College professors? They're going to take your kids. They expect you to surrender your children to them and allow them to tell your children and your children's children what really goes on today. That's why they're doing what they're doing. That's why they're protesting. That's why they're showing pictures of Trump's empty inaugural crowd. It was full of people. But they get it, picture in the morning, and so it's empty. Democrats are going for persuasion. They're not going to convince you of a thing, but they expect to raise your kids. And you're going to give your children to them in front of their TV stations, let the movie stars tell them what to think, let the entertainers tell them what their values are, let these politicians tell you what's fair, and let your teachers, your schools, teach them about the American culture. That's why they're doing what they're doing. And it doesn't matter if you got all the facts in the world, folks. It doesn't matter if you know Donald Trump is not a racist. They know that if they say it, the press is going to repeat it, the teachers are going to teach it, and the entertainers are going to sing about it, and your children will follow them and not you, because you're not being a parent. You're sending your kids to them, and by sending your kids to them, you're saying they are authorities. They are to be respected. So what's happening now when you got the Iraqi and Iranian government now proxies, They're sitting back now planning our destruction. They've chanted death to America for the last 40, 50 years. They've killed thousands of Americans and conspired to kill thousands more today. You expect President Trump to sit back and let it go like Barack Obama did and George Bush. You expect him to say, okay. He's not. Because, see, Donald Trump also thinks about the future. He doesn't really care what the history books write about him. He doesn't really care what your kids are taught and your grandkids are taught about him. What he cares about is what he's going to leave for the next generation. It's going to be the strongest nation the world has ever seen. It's going to be controlled borders. And we're going to destroy the anti-American, socialist-inspired Democratic Party. My book, The Democrat Party Hates America. Folks, get that book today. They hate everything about America. If you love America, they also hate you. They hate children. They hate church. They hate God Almighty. They hate our flags. They hate women. They hate black folks. Look what they're doing. There's not one group in America. Matter of fact, even putting us in groups is hateful. We are Americans, but they got us divided in black Americans, white Americans, green Americans, blue Americans, you American, I'm American. They got us divided up by our differences because that's what they do. Let's stop allowing them to even have an input and a seat at the table. If we don't rescue America, it will not be rescued. Free people need to stand up to be free and let them criticize you. Please, take the name calling. They're not after a conversation to convince you. They want to talk to you and get you tied by knots and steal your children from you. Mason Weaver here. Stay right or be left. Eternity, it's a long time to be wrong. Take care, folks. God bless you.